Another wave of the eviction tsunami is here as Las Vegas tenant protections from the COVID-19 pandemic ended at the end of June, and now they're seeing a ton of new eviction filings. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. Are you an aspiring landlord looking to buy your first rental property? Or perhaps you're a small real estate investor with one or two properties and you're trying to move up to the next level. You could use consulting, and I'm offering consulting here through Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. If you're interested, please send me an email at tony@northomahainvestments.com. All right, so I have an interesting article for you today, and it's coming out of Las Vegas, Nevada. As I've mentioned before, Nevada is not known as being an anti-landlord place, but they put a lot of protections in place, specifically in the Las Vegas area, that are pretty progressive. And one of those protections was that if a tenant applied for rental assistance due to pandemic hardship, well, the landlord wasn't able to evict them. Now that right there, it's straight out of California, it's straight out of these left-wing anti-landlord places. So, it surprises me that this sort of thing happened in Nevada, but fortunately it expired. Now they're starting to see a big uptick in the number of evictions that are being filed. And that's a good thing, okay? Because these landlords, they deserve to be paid. They deserve to be able to get rid of these tenants, whether they applied for rental assistance or not. They need to have somebody in their unit who is paying them. And we're way beyond the beginning of the pandemic. We're way beyond that point. It's absolutely ridiculous that we have to go 3+ years later in order to get rid of bad tenants. It should never have been the case, okay? Never. So essentially, they had an eviction moratorium going on here in Las Vegas for 3 years because the landlords couldn't get rid of these bad tenants, and that is surprising. It's really surprising. I thought that, hey, maybe Nevada, it's not like California, it's not like these other places. Well, I was wrong. Okay, and I'm sure if there's other landlords on here who maybe invest in Las Vegas area or in Nevada, they could have told me that. But put in the comment down below, just what exactly is going on with that city in terms of, is it a tenant-friendly place or is it a landlord-friendly place? So before I get into the article, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button. Maybe leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. So what do you think of them having these protections for so long? Do you think that was even necessary? Do you think that there's anyone out there other than scammers who literally was 3+ years into the pandemic still struggling? Okay, I don't. I think that everybody out there, if you're experiencing hardship from the pandemic, you are a scammer 3.5 years later. Okay, I mean, there's no reason for you not to have been able to. I admit, I went out to Vegas during the pandemic. I did, right? They got hit hard. They got hit really, really hard. The entire tourism industry was shut down. It was bad. And, they depend so much. There's so many people who work in hospitality out there. And I really felt bad for the place. That was part of the reason I went out there. As soon as stuff started opening up again, I started visiting again because I was like, man, I want this place to come back. I love Vegas. I love being out there. I love the entertainment options, and, just it's a great place. And it felt really bad thinking, oh, wow, all these people have lost their jobs. All these people are out of work. But we are a long time beyond that right now. Okay, we are. And at this point, if you have not been able to pay your landlord, and you need to go. You need to go. Okay, doesn't matter if you have a rental assistance application or not. Anyway, let's get into the article. This article is coming from fox5vegas.com, and it says, surge of evictions coming to Las Vegas Valley after protections expire. New resources available. All right, let's get into it. The Las Vegas Valley is about to see a surge in evictions as courtrooms are filled with eviction cases on their docket. Justice courts across the valley are already seeing jumps in caseloads. Since a crucial COVID-19 protection expired in June, landlords can proceed with evictions even though a tenant applied for aid. North Las Vegas Justice Court has seen a spike in evictions in recent weeks. The courts has had to add more hours and days for cases. To help families, Nevada Legal Services launched a free clinic on Wednesdays. There was a line throughout the morning. There's a slightly higher poverty rate in North Las Vegas. That's generally where you see higher rates of evictions, said John Brogdon of Nevada Legal Services. Yeah, and the fact that there are so many evictions being filed, that really tells you just how much money these landlords were losing, okay? Losing tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars on lost rent for all of the people they could not evict. These people, they might not have even been eligible, but they had put in an application for rental assistance. They might not have ever received a penny from rental assistance, but they were unable to remove those tenants regardless, and that's bad. That's very, very bad. Okay, so you're going to see this huge uptick as landlords are finally going to try to get their properties back. And I don't. It's not that I want to see people evicted. Okay, I think the mistake that people make when they watch my videos, when they hear me talk, right, is that I'm a cruel, heartless person. I am not a heartless person, okay? I empathize with you, okay? I empathize with your situation, but I do not take responsibility for your situation. You need to take personal responsibility for all the things that happen in your life. If you're facing eviction, right, you need to either pay your landlord the money that is owed by, whatever means. If that means you need to take a second job, if that means that you need to sell something, sell blood, okay, whatever it takes. You need to borrow money from a relative or somebody so that you don't become homeless. That is your responsibility. It is not the landlord's responsibility to make sure that you don't become homeless. It is not everyone else's. See, and that's the problem, right? That's why I always talk about socialism, right? Socialism, it believes that it is society's problem that people, they make these personal decisions and they want other people to take care of it for them. Okay. It's not society's problem. It is your problem. And just like if I was about to lose my house, I mean, if I was about to lose my house, let's say that I wasn't able to pay my bills, I would sell stuff. I'd tap into my retirement. I would, and the worst case scenario, we wouldn't become homeless because I would sell the house first and then move into somewhere that I could afford. But people, it is beyond their comprehension that they should have to take responsibility. I'm not saying all tenants are like this, right? And I've experienced tenants where they've just said, "Hey, I can't afford the place. I just got to go," and then given me my property back, and that is a gift right there. Okay, give me my property back. I can immediately put it back on the market, get another tenant in there who can pay if you can't afford the place. That's what we want. Okay, what we don't want is somebody who can't afford the place, who stays in there, forces us to pay lawyers thousands of dollars so we can go through the eviction process, tears the place apart. Then we got to, wait months on end of not getting paid rent. So we're out thousands and thousands of dollars. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, man. Anyway, let me continue with this article. It's a similar situation across the Valley and Nevada. Legal Aid Center of Southern Nevada operates a clinic at the Regional Justice Center, which handles 70% of the state's evictions. We are seeing huge spikes. What used to be a busy day, 300 people coming in on evictions, now we are seeing over 400 to 500 a day. The people this is impacting by the sunsetting of these protections, the elderly, adults with disabilities, and then families who have fallen behind 1 to 2 months, they could have been helped, said Jonathan Norman, policy director of the Nevada Coalition for Legal Service Providers. I disagree. Okay, so they first of all, to garner sympathy, what he first does is he points out, oh well, this is affecting the elderly and persons with disabilities, right? And the truth of the matter is that that's not the case. The majority of the case is not elderly or people with disabilities who are facing evictions due to non-payment of rent during the pandemic. That's ridiculous. Okay? the elderly and the they were already on, be it Social Security or housing assistance or whatever, right? Or they have a fixed income already in place because they probably weren't working. Instead, what we're seeing is we have people who, years after the pandemic ended, were using these protections because they had personal circumstances, be it they got fired from their job, or be it they have a job but they just are overburdened with too much debt or other expenses to be able to pay their rent. So I don't agree with. I mean, they try to garner the sympathy. Oh, these poor, they're all old and disabled, and children, and no, it's just not the case. Okay. And when it comes down to it, everyone, and I mean everyone, faces some sort of hardship, and we cannot afford to pay because people are facing hardship. People do need to take care of themselves, and that is the best thing for them anyway. Unless you are willing and able to take care of yourself, maybe you don't deserve to be out in society.